Hello, I'm Tucker.
And I'm Antonio.
We're working on a science project that combines elements of physics and design engineering.
We began our journey by attempting to innovate the campus of our school.
However, as we learned, there was little room for innovation.
As a result, we decided to work on a topic we were both passionate about, golf.
First, we conducted 2 observational interviews with golfers about the sport. In addition, after scouring the course for problems, we found another issue, and that was divots in the grass. After giving each problem individual consideration, we created a pain versus frequency graph to plot each issue. We then chose the issue that we felt best reflected our project goals. It was the divot. A divot is created when a golfer swings their club and hits the ground. It leaves a large patch of dead grass that a maintenance crew must later fill in with sand. We came up with many ideas, and here are a few of the better ones. Our first idea was a round-shaped object. It would be made of a biodegradable surface and would have grass seeds on the inside. Our second idea was similar, but instead of a round shape, it would be square and rigid. Also, it would have water inside. Our third idea was a tee that the lower portion would break off whenever used and it would regrow the grass. Our fourth and final idea was a grate that would be made of biodegradable substance that a golfer would break off, place into the divot, and break with their foot. Our group decided to go with the first project and conducted interviews to refine how we would build this. So, when you're golfing, how often do you create a divot with your club?
Well, obviously not on tee shots, so it happens on fairways. Almost always.
Okay.
But I always go back and fill my divots with sand, and if I have a chunk of it, I try to make sure to repair the course for the guys behind me.
So you always have access to things like sand?
Well, usually they provide you with, in places. You just have to kind of take time and actually do it. The sand is there. It's just often some people do not do it.
How long does it take to really fill one of those divots?
Really, it doesn't matter how long it takes. It's the right thing to do. Whether it takes 10 seconds or 20 seconds or whatever, it's the right thing to do. When it's the right thing to do, time shouldn't really matter.
During the video, on the golf cart, we found the container that was supposed to have sand in it. However, it's worth noting that this did not contain any sand. Would it be easier to just say, place a product in the divot and then let it regrow, rather than just pouring sand? Because we designed this sort of little cube, and it's made of biodegradable material and has grass seeds on the inside. Would you say it'd be easier to just say place this in the divot and step on it and have it regrow the grass?
I would think if it works, I would say yes. It's easier to do that.
After figuring out that there was interest in our product, we had to figure out how we would refine this product and make it readily available. Our first step would be to create a mold, and we did this through SolidWorks. This mold will hold the substance, pulp in this case, for our product. In order to make this pulp, one must obtain newspaper. After obtaining the newspaper, you must cut it into small strips. The strips must be combined in a blender with warm water. After the warm water is placed, you must blend it for approximately 2 minutes. Then it is placed into a strainer so the excess water is drained. Then you place it into the mold and squeeze it. It is placed between vice grips in order to get all of the water out. It then should look something like pictured above. Then grass seed is placed inside and you combine the 2 molds. It is then left out to dry for several hours, and to accelerate this process, one can bake it in some sort of oven. Our last step was to conduct a user interview with a potential consumer. Perfect. Alright, so then I guess we just sort of place it in there, and I guess just sort of... Oh, it didn't quite break.
Oh, you have to break it. It's so soft, you're right.
The ground is just so soft. Yeah. But yeah, so you just sort of water this, and then eventually...
That'll degrade.
There's a bunch of seeds in it, and it just sort of grows out. So you'd be interested, just hypothetically, in using something like that?
I think it's something really good.
From this interview, we learned our project needed to be more rigid and easier to break in order to suit more weather conditions. From this project, we learned how to conduct interviews and the discipline to commit to a long-term project. In addition, we learned valuable time management skills.
I hope you enjoyed this presentation.
See you on the flip side, and enjoy your rounds of golf.